Hey there, welcome back to Pearl Snap Tarot. That was kind of a weak snap, but I just polished my fingernails, this lovely shade of maroon, and I don't want to ruin them. I was reminded of a story today by another reader who brought up the name Octavia in her reading as an op of mine, and there sure was. There was an op named Octavia in Boulder, and so I wanted to talk more about my past in Boulder, Colorado, and some of the weird, bizarre things that happened to me there that I think are they relate to my story and to all the stories that are coming out about people being stalked, harassed, and driven into circumstances that they can't manage and so forth, and even to the point of trying to murder us. And that's what has happened to me. I'm currently trapped in Alamogordo, New Mexico, where people keep trying to kill me. They just keep trying to kill me. While I was recording another call from Gel, New Mexico, I don't know who it is. Whenever I record a video, this happens. And I'm not paranoid. Weird things are happening. They really are. Okay, and I have lots of evidence to back that up. Lots. So this is serious, and I need help. I really need help. And so I'm looking for an attorney who will help me get some cases together to sue a bunch of people for the way they have driven me into poverty, into these corners that I can't get out of. Right now, I'm very overwhelmed by my circumstances. I went from low-income housing where people were trying to kill me to inheriting a trap house of an abuser of mine who appeared in Boulder, and I think he was hired. Now I've done a lot of research about this, and when you're part of this Illuminati, family thing, Masons and everything, where you don't want to toe the line for them. You don't want to work for them. You don't want to allow them to break you and rape you and make you one of their little operatives. You don't want to do that. You don't want to play their games. They come after you and they want to kill you. And I'm tired of it. I've been talking about it, and they want to kill me even more because I've been talking about it. Okay. But I spent more than 20 years in Boulder. Here's a picture that I just love. It's called the construction of the Flatirons. And if you've ever seen those rocks above Boulder called the Flatirons, this is somebody's funny joke about that, where they show how they were built, like as if they're fake or something. But I keep a copy of this to remind myself of how fake Boulder is and was. And I was feel like the whole time I was in Boulder was just kind of a big corral for me and other people like me who are from extraordinary bloodlines that have different abilities than most people. And they try to get you trained, they study you, they work with you, they weird you out, they gang stalk you in these places if you won't comply, or if you get interested in what's really going on, they stalk and harass you to death, practically. That's what happened to me there. One of the places I used to really love to hang out was this place, El Dorado Springs, which is, it's south of Boulder, on the south end. And it's a beautiful area that has this artesian spring water pool. It's not a hot spring. It's just freshwater spring. And it used to be, in centuries past, I think it was a Ute campground at one time. And I think I have past lives there as a Native American. Anyway, I used to go to this pool all the time with the abuser that left me this house. Okay, his name was Joe. And he and I used to go here all the time before I knew who he was and what he was in my life for. But I said, I think he got hired to ruin my life, and such people are called ruiners sometimes. So Joe was a ruiner in my life, and so was this person, Octavia. She showed up and just caused mayhem. And that was the story I kind of wanted to tell in this video because another reader kind of kicked up that old memory of what Octavia was doing with me. She would show up at my house anytime she felt like it in Boulder and didn't have any boundaries at all. Neither did Joe. None of these ruiner people have any boundaries. They just try to run up into your life and get all over everything and make a big mess and embarrass you and humiliate you, or they do anything they can to get you in trouble too. And but I didn't quite realize what was going on. I knew she was trouble, but back then I was still pretty young and I was kind of having fun in Boulder. I didn't realize what was actually going on there at all. I didn't have a clue. So she invited me to go camping with her on a camping trip, and she was a seasoned camper who knew all about river rafting. And so I trusted her based on her reputation. And so we went off on this camping trip on the Green River in Utah. And that's a really cool float trip because the river isn't very, it doesn't have a lot of rapids. It's more of a float trip. And when you are in that area, you can see all kinds of petroglyphs and Native American art that's really ancient on the rock walls in there. It was really cool. Most of the trip was okay until we hit this one campground. And now that I look back on that, I think that it was an arranged thing to have these people show up, and they were going to try to grape me. And she had a big mouth, and we were at our own campground there. We had our own campground separate from other people. There were other people down there camping too, but we had staked out one of the campgrounds, and it had a picnic table. And then before I could even say anything, she was flirting with these two drunk Indians and invited them to come over to our picnic table and started saying all this provocative shit. And it really pissed me off. I didn't know what to do. And I went to there was a ranger down there. So I went to they had like a loo, like a porta potty down in there. And I went over there to use it. But when I was ready to come out, I knew somehow, I can't remember what exactly happened, but I knew that one of these Indians was waiting out there outside the loo to get me. I knew it. And I figured that out. I think I opened the door a little bit and he was right there and he was probably reaching for me or something. I slammed the door shut and locked it again. And then I didn't know what to do, so I let a couple minutes go by, and then I flung the door open and I went running back to our camping spot, kind of yelling and or something. I don't know. I outran him because he was drunk, okay? But he was big. And while we were now I remember this too, while we were sitting at the picnic table, he started putting his hands on me. And Octavia was there and she wasn't doing anything to stop this. So I think she was trying to make this happen. I do think she was, because on our way home from this camping trip, I insisted that we cut it off and go home after this. And on our way home, I accused her of trying to get me in trouble and stuff. And she got really defensive and really mad. And we had a big fight on the way back. And after that happened, I never would speak to her again. And she used to hang out here at El Dorado Springs too, all the time. And almost every time I went there, I ran into her. And she would always try to swim over to me and talk to me. And I started avoiding her. And she had a boyfriend, an ugly boyfriend with ugly teeth named JP. And the two of them kept trying to mess with me. And I would be there with Joe, another ruiner, and he was kind of halfway protecting me, but not really. Ugh. All these people were really messing with me, and I still hadn't figured it out. I just thought that was what people did. And, I just thought people were weird because everybody in Boulder was weird. Everybody was doing weird stuff. I really should get some of my old diaries out. But anyway, so what happened was after I ran out of the loo and ran back to the picnic table, I broke out a set of my handmade oracle cards. I was making them way back then. This is, I don't know how long ago, maybe 25 years ago or something, that all this stuff happened. And I just found the box here's the box full of cards. See, they're like these laminated collage cards. And people who knew me back then in Boulder know that I was making these. But I broke out a bunch of them, and I let him look at them. And let me see, he started looking at them. And stuff like this, I think, was more what weirded him out. This older Indian guy that was with his younger nephew, and they were down there celebrating the nephew's graduation from high school or something like that, and getting drunk. Some of these are kind of, I can't really show them because they have like nudies on them and stuff. I'm trying to find some good ones to show you the kind of stuff that might have weirded this guy out. Okay, people with weird blank sparkly eyeballs and stuff. Anyway, this guy looked through these cards and suddenly he put them down and he looked at me and he was really spooked. He was genuinely spooked. This was an older man, an Indian, who was superstitious. And I realized that he thought that I was some kind of a witch. This is the card that spooked him out. This was the one that did it. I remember now. It's still here. When he got to this card, he put it down and looked at me. And he thought I was a witch. And that made him and his nephew get up and leave the campground. They just vamoosed on out of there. And after that,
I remember now, he kept apologizing to me over and over.
Down the river a little farther, and we got stuck in a rainstorm, and it was freezing. And she admitted that she was in over her head, and she didn't know what to do. And I was really angry with her because I had trusted her. But this is the kind of trouble that these types of people were getting people like me into. And it was just like everybody in Boulder was off their god darn daggone rocker. They were all off their rockers. They really were. And in the end, I was a problem for those people because I kept asking questions and why did you do this? And what the hell did you mean by that? And other people were easy to knock down, but not me. I just kept popping back up and asking questions and going, what the hell was that all about? And what did you mean by that? And what do you think you're doing to me? I just kept on standing up to these people, and I was a problem. And eventually they stalked and harassed me at my job in the building where I worked. I've been through so much that's so weird, and I have had no help from anyone. I can't get any help. People just want me to die and go away because I know what's going on. Because I could tell on all these people in Boulder and all this weird stuff they did, okay? I don't know. I don't know what I'm ever going to do. I need help really bad. I need help getting out of the situation I'm in right now. I need help suing these people who got me into here. And I need help I am very willing to talk to the FBI. I want to talk to them about all the weird stuff that happened to me and all the weird stuff I saw going on there and here where I am now in New Mexico. I know a lot about trafficking and stuff and what they're doing now. I know a lot about what they're doing. I want to talk to people to tell them what's going on. They need to know. I want to talk to people about it. I don't know how to get in touch. I'm cut off. My social media is shadow banned so that I can't get through to anyone. I'm just trapped with people still trying to kill me all the time.